have a lead, you assess your lead, you talk to them, you have a feel for them, you know their desires and fears and all that good stuff. You're gonna send them to me. It will be great if you and I have a conversation so you can say, okay, this client is afraid of this, or this client is really rate conscious, the client is really worried about the payment, they don't have down payment, or they have $100,000 in money is not the problem. Their problem is finding this house in this specific neighborhood at this price range, so it helps me to know that information beforehand. If you wanna send me a quick text message, if you wanna call me, whatever you wanna do, the more I know what the client needs beforehand, the more I can be prepared for the conversation. And in our conversation, I'm gonna ask my questions anyways, but it helps. When you send me a lead, what is going to happen is I will call them right away, introduce myself, I say we work together. I will send them a link from my system so they can fill out the loan application. It's a secure system. They can go in and they can upload all of their documents, pay stubs, all of their important information. From there, I am going to pre-approve them. Some clients send everything to me within 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes later, they are out the door, fully approved with a letter in hand. I get a lot of those people. I love those clients that they are just on the money. Like if I ask for a document, the document comes in. So it takes me, in reality, 15 minutes to review and approve a file. But I'm gonna say 24 hours because if I send the link to the client, they do it overnight, yada, 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 depending on how long they take. I'm gonna say pre-approval 24 hours, because in reality, if I have other documents, I can do it in 15 minutes, okay?
Maybe at work.
Yeah. So once I give them a pre-approval and I pull a credit report, that pre-approval is good for 4 months, okay? We're not gonna repull credit. The credit report that I pull is what we are going to use unless we need to work on credit. Then they go out into the world with you, they go looking for homes, then they get on the contract, okay? When they get on the contract, you send me a copy, we send an email, all the parties, everything. Then what I am going to do is I'm gonna go back to the file, check all of my dates, pay stubs, bank statements, all of that documentation has to be within 30 days of offer letter or contract. So I may ask the client, can you please send me another 2 pay stubs, or can you send me your most recent bank statements? From there, I go in, I shop it around, because I'm gonna shop it around for rate, for time. Different lenders offer different things that people can qualify for. Once I find a lender that I think is the best for them, I will submit the loan and disclose the loan to the client. When I disclose the loan to the client, they're gonna receive a document that looks like this, but it's going to say loan disclosure. This is the closing disclosure, this is at the end. It looks exactly the same, but at the top is going to say loan disclosure. You send me a contract 24 hours after, the client is going to get a loan disclosure. In the loan disclosure, I'm going to give them an estimate of all of the fees, because I'm not gonna have insurance, I'm not really gonna have the title fees, so I overestimate on my loan disclosures, because if I underestimate, then I have to pay for that out of pocket if the fee is for more, okay? So the client is gonna get a loan disclosure, a package is gonna be about 60 pages, I'm gonna call them, I'm gonna explain everything, all the fees, you don't have to worry, but that is part of the process. So I pre-approve them, they go looking for houses, then they come back, they own the contract, I disclose the loan. Once the client signs the disclosures, then I can order the appraisal. I cannot order an appraisal until the client signs the disclosure, because the disclosure gives me the intent to proceed. The client needs to give me an intent to proceed, so legally, I can go ahead and submit the loan to underwriting.
And just a clarifying question with that.
Of course.
When you're disclosing, what information are you disclosing? Like the interest rate, what the potential payment will be? That way they can look at it, go over it, and say, okay, now I'm ready to move forward?
Correct. So let's grab this document just to give you an idea. I know here says closing disclosure, let's pretend that this is a loan estimate, right?
The only thing that changes is just the
Yes, just the name of, so on this document, you're gonna have your purchase price, your loan amount, your interest rate, which could be locked or not locked. It's gonna depend on the client. The client tells me whether or not they wanna lock it. It's gonna have the payment and interest payment right here, okay? It's gonna give me the estimated taxes and insurance and total payment. It's going to give me the cash to close, the closing cost, and cash to close. So the client gets everything up front. There's zero surprises for the client. Now, out of here, the things that we'll not know by the time I disclose this is if the client doesn't want to lock the rate, this rate right here will change, which means the payment can change as well.
And what she means by that is sometimes the rates may start out really high by the time we get into contract. So if it's estimated, let's wait a little bit, she might float the rate.
Yeah.
Let's see if the rate comes down a little bit.
Yeah.
Which in most cases it usually does when she floats it.
Yeah, I have to lock a loan 7 days prior to closing. So depending on how the market is and how I feel about rates, I have a conversation with the client. I provide them the information, but they make the decision whether or not they want to lock it. Sometimes I say, you should lock it because rates are coming up, lock it now, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to offer you this rate anymore.
This is gonna look a lot higher, these numbers, because it's just estimated, and she mentioned they're moving parts.
Yes.
So when she discloses it, she's not gonna know, she might not know what the taxes are just yet. And definitely she's not gonna know what insurance is, because we have to go through an inspection first. We have to get the inspection reports, and then with those inspection reports, we're gonna take the wind mitigation and the 4-point inspections and send it off. Now Kelly does have good insurance agents that she works with. I have good insurance, so we're gonna double team, and the client should be looking into rates. You know, we are here to guide our clients, but we're not here to do everything for them. So the clients have a hand. If they don't know insurance brokers or agents, then that's fine. We'll go ahead and take over for it. But we always send out an email. I'll send Kelly the reports, only those 2 reports, not the property report.
I don't wanna see the property report.
Do not send it, because there might be things in there that we're negotiating that a lender does not wanna see. That's for us to know.
Yeah.
But we will send those out, and we will get quotes, and then we kind of meet up back again, and here's the quotes, and then the client decides what quote they want to go with, and then they take it over from there.
Yes.
And another thing to point out, while Kelly is doing the loan application, because the pre-approval is not the loan application. The loan application doesn't actually start until we get into contract, and then Kelly takes over. Once we send that over to Kelly, she will take that part, and she does behind the scenes. We don't get involved in that part. We don't speak with the client about it. That is between
It's private
it's
information.
private information.
Yes.
So the client, the buyer, and Kelly will disclose that. Our job from then is to get the inspection scheduled and go from there, and then negotiate if anything comes up in the inspection. And then after that, if everything is good to go and we're done negotiating, maybe sometimes we get a seller credit, we have to do an addendum. We do the addendum for a credit, and then that addendum we will give back to Kelly and the title company, because everybody has to know if there's credits going on.
Absolutely.
Now, the one thing that the lender does not need to see, if there's some type of repairs that we are doing that the seller agrees to take care of prior to closing, that is a private email that we will take care of, that the buyer and seller between the 2 parties will sign.
If it's gonna be done before we close our loan,
Yeah. But that's not anything that the lender needs to
it's
see.
negotiated between seller and buyer and the agents.
Yeah.
And the loan process takes about 1 to 2 weeks. During the loan process, we're gonna be collecting documents from the client, ordering appraisal, ordering taxes. Ordering title and insurance. So once we get all those documents back, the file goes back to underwriting. Depending on the lender, underwriting can be between 24 and 48 hours to review. So sometimes I may be trying to reach a client and closing day is approaching and the client is not cooperating. I may ask you to please help me and reach out to the client and say, we need this information because it has to go to underwriting and it's 48 hours underwriting review. So we'll work together on that.
Timelines are very important. So
Very.
if she's calling you saying that this client, we have a loan contingency period coming up, we need to jump on it
Yes.
immediately.
Yes, so I am very aware of my contingency dates. For you guys, it's a way bigger deal because of the contract. But if I have a contingency date, my job is to have that loan clear to close by that date. And if my loan is not clear to close by that date, we'll have a conversation and I will say my loan is not CTC. meaning my loan is not clear to close.
And we're not gonna do that the day of teach these two.
It's gonna be a couple of days before, because I know, like, I needed a condition, the condition just came in, and now I have to wait 48 hours for that condition to clear to get a CTC, and the thing expires today, then we need to have a conversation, we're gonna have a conversation about that. At the very end, there may be times where it is a little stressful if we are running behind. Some clients are very good with providing information. Some people take a little longer. The people that take it a little longer to send documents typically are the ones that at the end we're working extra hard to meet those deadlines. Or sometimes it could not even be the bar. It could be that we couldn't find an appraiser, or there was a delay, or the seller's agent didn't open the door, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
There are many things in the process that can happen. Or we're working on the credit report to increase it. It could be so many things.
That's where we put our hats on as the problem solvers.
Yes. And then the biggest thing is we need to be talking, you and me,
Communication.
right? If things are moving slow, everybody needs to know, and everybody needs to get on their A game, because no matter what, on the contingency date, I need to be clear to close. Or we need to ask for an extension, which for you is not gonna be pleasant. So communication. I guess that's the key. So once I get everything, the loan goes through underwriting, 48 hours the most, we get a clear to close. Once we get a clear to closing, depending on the lender, if I get a clear to close today, we can close 2 hours after. Some other lenders require 24 hours, some other lenders require 48 hours. Now, why wouldn't I send all my loans to the lender that can close a loan in 2 hours? Wouldn't you? Because that lender may have rates that are higher than another, and the client is really rate conscious. And sometimes I have to take the loan to a lender who is not as fast, but they provide really good rates, but we know that the loan is gonna drag. If that is the case, like Sabrina and I, we have talks. I'm like, listen, this client, I need to take this client to this lender, and they are slow. I just want you to know.
So our loan contingency period on the contract is gonna be 25 days or more.
Yes.
Not like a, you know, you're, and then also these listing agents, they'll wanna push you around, I want a 15-day loan contingency. Okay.
Yes.
I want $1 million right now. So
Yes.
no, yeah. No.
So, but we would never know that if we're not in constant communication. We been working together for many, many years. So she knows the process, and I know the behind the scenes as well. So we come in and we talk about these things. Most people don't, and then at the last minute it's like, oh my God, why isn't it clear to close? Or oh my God, why is it taking so long? Communication will take away a lot of that stress. And being prepared. So sometimes the deal goes through and it's beautiful, and sometimes it goes through and it's hell on earth. But when it's hell on earth and you are communicating every step of the way, you take care of issues every step of the way. One in this business, you can give people bad news, terrible news, as long as you tell them this is how we're gonna fix it. You can make terrible mistakes, and I have it. Mistakes, you will make those mistakes. The most important thing in this business is this is how we're gonna fix it.